mentioned quite a few good sort of motivational tactics that business owners can use to drive profits and get themselves going. Skill set versus mindset was one that you spoke about.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the key things there, Stuart, is around, it's an identity shift. Okay, a lot of people that start a business start it because they're good at a job. And if you describe yourself as the person that's good at the job, that's great when it's small. But as the business starts to grow, is that your job now? If you're a hairdresser that opened your own salon, at what point do you go from being a hairdresser to being a salon owner? At what point do you go from, being a car mechanic to owning a car repair business? Because the minute you make that shift, you start to make different decisions.
Yeah, and definitely kind of getting you out of your comfort zone as well was something that you spoke about.
Yeah, 100%. So, where do most human beings live the majority of their life? It's in their comfort zone, okay? But if you stay in your comfort zone, what changes? Well, not a lot, because where you are is comfortable. So almost all of us face things that are outside of our comfort zone. The question is, what do we do when that happens? Do we run away from them and try and get comfortable again? Or do we lean into them and learn something new? The way I positioned it in the session, actually, your comfort zone basically is, it's an area of life where we've got problems, we just don't know they exist yet. The next area on from that is the fear zone, and it's the fear zone because we've got problems, we know they exist, and we don't know what to do about it. And at that point, we've kind of got two choices. We can run back to pretending they don't exist, but now we know they do. Deep down, we know they do. Or we can lean into them and learn, well, actually, how do I fix this? And when we learn them, we grow. And when we grow, our comfort zone gets bigger, there's more things we can handle, we become more comfortable with more things, more experiences. And over time, I think a big part of this is, in fact, I'm going to take a slight tangent on this, but business coaching, we don't coach businesses, we coach people. We coach business owners, we coach leaders. If you develop the leadership skills, if you develop as the person that owns the business, naturally the business will develop with you. But if you're trying to develop the business without developing yourself, there's only so far you'll ever get.
And you mentioned as well, you shared a formula for life success with us.
I did.
It seems like a bit of a cheat code. So can you share with us your formula for life success?
Yeah, sure. So the 3-part formula for life success is literally 3 words. Be times do equals have. Okay? And that in itself, it doesn't sound that sexy. But let's explain what it is. So first of all, have. What do I want to have in life? What do I want to experience? Who do I want to experience it with? What do I want my ideal life to look like? My ideal business to look like? The clearer I am on that, the easier it is to go, okay, well, hang on a minute. If that's what I want to have, what do I need to do to make those things happen? And let's get honest, most of us can find people who've got results similar to the ones we've got. So if I can find someone who's got similar results, I can go, well, what did they do? What if I do the same thing? But now be honest with yourself. How many things are there in your life or your business right now where you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it anyway? Why? Because you haven't figured out who you need to be. You haven't decided who you need to become. You haven't decided what you need to believe. You haven't decided how you need to behave. And so ultimately, if you take be times do equals have, if you get rid of the times, the do, and the equals, here are the other 2 words together, you've got your answer. That's the cheat code. What do I want to have? How do I need to behave to get it?
Definitely, and getting out of your comfort zone can be a way to do that. And then lastly, you also mentioned about encouraging people to kind of take ownership of things and accountability and responsibility for things as well. How can people do that?
So, again, I think the simple answer on that is everything that comes up in my life, I've got 2 choices. I can focus on the problem, or I can focus on the solution. If I focus on the problem, what will I do? I'll make excuses for it, or I'll call them reasons, by the way. I won't call them excuses. But I can focus on excuses, I can focus on blame. It's not my fault, it's yours. It's not my fault, it's the weather, it's the time of the year, it's the industry, it's the economy, it's whatever. I can also deny the problem's even there, it's not that bad, it'll sort itself out. Any of that, I'm kind of giving away responsibility and control. I'm giving away my power. The alternative to that is the 3 words you mentioned, right? Ownership, accountability, and responsibility. Well, I might not create a problem, but can I take ownership for the problem? I'm going to create the opportunity, but can I take ownership for an opportunity? Can I hold myself accountable, certain standards, certain performance, certain outcomes? Can I find people to be accountable to, such as a business coach or maybe some peer support? And ultimately, I don't get to decide what happens in my life, but I do get to decide what I do next. Which, if we're looking at the word responsible, we break it into two parts, and response able. I'm not able to choose what happens, but I am able to choose how I respond to it.
Definitely. I think there's some really good insights that business owners can take away from that. And thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
No, thank you. Cheers.